Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of the Astros Baseball Podcast. I am today's host. For some reason, they're letting the personality hire do the show today. So it's going to be an interesting one, but hopefully a fun one. I am joined today with Rob and Wally. How was everybody's day today?
It's good. It was good. We thought we were going to get some rain, but we didn't. So life is good.
My day is good because they told us that we were going to work 2.5 hours overtime, and we didn't work any at all. So I got home way early. We were going to do the show at 8. Now we're doing it at 6. So life's good.
Oh, we love that. Also, Wally, you and I differ on the rain situation because I am a huge fan of the rain. Give me rain all day. But I also work from home, so it makes it a lot easier to just kind of like sit around the house in the rain compared to people who have to like leave places in the rain. And Lord knows us Houston drivers,
I
some
was
of us are not built for it.
I was working outside today, so it was good
Ooh.
to get it done.
Okay, then you know what? I'm happy for your sake that there was no rain today.
I love the rain.
Yeah, same.
As a homeowner, rain. Well, I guess it don't matter in the wintertime.
That's fair. Fair point. But yeah, guys, let's get into it. So, yesterday, obviously, I know that Wally and Rob did their show on the Jose Altuve extension. Super exciting stuff. One of the big things yesterday was it was officially declared Jose Altuve Day on February 7th, 2024. I know the guys gave a little bit of their thoughts on that, but how do y'all feel about, obviously Jose Altuve Day? I mean, I think it was so exciting to hear how much he loves this city and how this really is just a second home to him.
Did he really sign on February the 7th?
So he signed, I believe, the day before, but they did the
Oh,
announcement yesterday. And
okay.
so the mayor did a whole proclamation. It's official.
It should be Jose Altuve Day on February 7th forever, even when he's not here anymore. Forever. He deserves it.
We had a bunch of my friends. First off, the great thing was is not just Jose was happy. Did you see all the people that were there? I mean, people came in just to see him. You had Jordan, you had Pena, you had Biggio. You had I can't remember who else was there, but people made a special effort to come in and see this because he's that beloved by him, and he loves them too.
Yeah, I think one of the things he said, he was so excited. I believe Lance McCullers was there as well. So he had really the whole squad at this thing, which was awesome. But he mentioned, it's like family for them. So to have people that feel like family there for him was super exciting, and it's amazing to see how much he's done for the city of Houston. I feel like people outside of this city like don't know the depths of how much we love Jose Altuve, and just his story is obviously so incredible. And personally, I got to watch him in the minors when he was playing in the Hooks and I was working there. So kind of getting to see him go from, getting his call up. I mean, I was working there and got to change out the lineup boards the day he got called up because they called him up after batting practice and after the lineups were already set. And I remember asking Michael Coffin, who was one of our radio guys, he's like, yeah, you have to take Altuve off. And I said, are you like, is he hurt? Like, did something happen? And he's like, no. And he looks at me, he's like, he got the call. And I looked at him and said, okay, are we talking like the call or are we talking like AAA? And he's like, he got the call. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe he was the first position player to ever move straight up from AA to the Astros. So to be there for that day, to get to see that, and now obviously living in Houston, getting to watch him play, day in, day out for my team is it's been awesome. It's been incredible just to see that journey and to see where he came from even before that. So like you said, Rob, every 2/7 should be Jose Altuve Day. We can
Yeah.
celebrate it as statue in like 10 years.
Oh, yeah. What's crazy about it is you were actually, and not like making it up, you were officially a part of him getting called up because his name was there and they told you to take it down. That's amazing. That's amazing you got to be a part of that.
The thing that I thought was hilarious, among other things, is they said, "Well, how long is he going to be up here?" Says, "Well, you're up here temporarily until we can get the other second baseman over here." Well, here we are, and Delino DeShields never quite made it, did he?
I mean, once Jose stepped on the field, he had something to prove and he did just that. And I think, again, testament to him never giving up. Obviously coming out of Venezuela, coming to the actual tryouts for the Astros, and then literally sending him home because he's too short, and him saying, no, like, give me a chance. Let me show you that I'm going to be worth it. And then I think, what did they give him? Like
15,
16,000, 15,
15, I
$15,000.
think is the number. It wasn't much.
Yeah, it wasn't much, but he said, "Hey, I'm gonna prove to you that this was worth it," and look at him now, it's awesome.
Well, and $15,000 is not. I mean, someone gives you $15,000, you're not going to turn it down up here, but down there, $15,000 when he could point out the rivers that they would go bathe in. I mean, $15,000, he probably thought he struck gold.
Oh, absolutely, I'm sure. And I have y'all either of y'all ever gotten to see the documentary that they put up? I think it was maybe 2015. It was way before the World Series, I know that.
Yeah. The one where he's hitting the bottle caps with the
Yes.
yeah.
No, I didn't see it. That sounds cool.
Oh man, if you haven't seen it, everyone should watch it if you are a Jose Altuve fan. It really gives you perspective into his life in Venezuela and really just all of the things that he's done since then. It makes a lot of sense as to why he worked so hard, which is obviously incredible to see. So, but yeah, so yay for Jose Altuve Day.
Hey, I read a story about Altuve today, and I forgot to share it when we're in our whatever you call it, the brain trust, trying to figure out what we're going to talk about. But it said it was from Sports Illustrated, but it says Inside the Astros. And the cover of it is Houston Astros take a major risk with the Altuve extension. How does this guy even have a job writing? It says he's getting this it's a lot of money to pay for what will likely be Altuve's decline phase. And then he goes on to talk about how few games he played last season. And it's like, dude, he got hurt in the WBC. Like,
Yeah,
do you not know what you're talking about?
No, you wonder how
obviously
some of these
not.
guys have jobs.
100%. It's insane. But yeah, that's crazy to me though that, and granted, I mean, I think anytime you're signing someone to their probably remaining years of play, of course there's risk involved, but
Yeah.
when Jose Altuve comes up, there's never a question. He really hasn't. Yeah, I feel like we haven't seen that much of a decline. Like, of course, he slowed down a very small bit, but I mean, he's still that clutch guy every day. He is still the heart and soul of this team, and I can't see it not being something that's
Yeah.
worth it for us,
What he's done in the past is worth what he's getting now because he took a hometown deal the first time they extended him. And
Absolutely.
he played higher than his paycheck. So he deserves it. So
Well,
that is exactly why each team has their own beat writers because you got dudes writing about teams that he doesn't know what he's talking about.
we were talking a couple nights ago about his home run numbers outside of last year when he only played 90 games. I think he had 17 home runs. Take out the COVID year, every year has been low 20s, low 30s, high 20s, and everything's been amazingly consistent.
We can always trust Wally with the stats.
Yeah. Stat man. But I mean, it's no
Truly.
risk. I don't know why this guy thinks.
Yeah.
Does anybody else
Yeah.
think it's a risk? I don't.
Uh-uh.
I don't think so. Not the kind of risk they're talking about,
And
but
they priced the contract to take away some of that risk.
Yeah.
Once he
absolutely.
gets past age 36, it's it's not peanuts for you and me, but it's peanuts compared to what the players are going to get paid.
Exactly. And I will say, speaking of beat writers, Brian McTaggart had an incredible article that was very opposite vibes of the article that you're talking about. I know I got it in my email. I know he has his little Astros beat that he sends out. And man, I was almost in tears reading that article, just talking about Altuve being one of the greats and, kind of like battling Hakeem Olajuwon for that title of greatest Houston sports athlete and being like that guy, he feels like he's that caliber. And, we're lucky that we have amazing beat writers like that, obviously Brian's from here. He grew up with this team. So having someone who's that passionate the same way the fans are it's awesome and exciting.
Chandler Rome's good in the athletic too.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a big fan of Chandler. I know there's a lot of Chandler haters, but I'm a fan of Chandler's work too. I think he does great stuff.
I don't hate him.
Yeah, me either. Oh, well. But yeah, so some other exciting stuff that has been going on with the Astros. Today was Astros Media Day. So, a couple of new things. They released their new slogan, Relentless. How are we feeling about the new slogan? And have you seen the hype video?
I didn't see the
I've not
video.
I haven't seen the video. I like Relentless a lot better than Ready to Rain.
Honestly,
I don't know.
same.
You
I
Here's
like it.
we have a difference of opinion.
well, here's my take on this. When they announced Ready to Rain, I was like, that's ridiculous. It sounds horrible. And then you think, oh wait, we're the champions. We're reigning. We're ready to reign. We're ready to reign as the champions. And this one, it was like relentless. And I was like, what? That sounds ridiculous. And then I didn't see the hype video, but I saw the picture that the Astros posted, and it has Altuve on there. It has Jordan on there, and I'm like, we are relentless. 7 ALCSs in a row. That's pretty damn relentless.
And you look at the
Absolutely.
lineup that we have. It seems like you hear the commentators talking about it during games. It seems like there's no let up. It's a relentless lineup, and the starting staff, one after the other, just one top notch arm after the other, and part of I think the reason the Astros have been good so long is no team gets a break. You don't get that fourth and fifth starter that it's glorified beer league softball that you just start teeing off on.
Yeah. So we do agree, Wally. We do.
I love
We
it.
do both like it. One day somebody's going to disagree in this team, but we'll let it happen.
Oh, we can make that up.
Oh, absolutely. So, yeah, they put out the whole hype video, and they also sent out, and I'll read it out to you so you can kind of get. I'm probably not going to do it justice to the video, and it'll be the exact same script in the video. So just like bear with me, but it says there's a price to pay for greatness, a cost for the consistency, and we pay our dues. Paid in grit, paid in reps, paid in sacrifice. The reward, the chance to continue making history, and to be a part of a team that simply does not go away. The plan hasn't changed, and the same goal remains: pour sweat and spray champagne. Along the
Wow.
way, it's not about perfection, it's about protecting this winning culture and repping this city and the relentless pursuit of baseball's biggest prize.
Well
That's
written.
awesome.
That's
Oh,
great. You coming back to where you were talking about with Altuve and the family, how do you think these guys are going to feel, 10, 15 years from now, and they're in their 40s, late 40s, early 50s, and they're going to look back and say, wow, look at that. I mean, how many times does a team not called the Yankees in the 50s come back and lay down a level of performance that's this consistent? Yeah, the Giants won 3 titles in 5 years. Well, those other 2 years, they didn't even make the playoffs.
Yeah.
You
And the
know,
Astros, they're different almost every year. Like they'll be the same for a couple, but the team from 7 years ago, there's just 3 guys there, maybe.
yeah, there's
yeah,
not many holdovers at all from
Yeah.
because
those
Bregman
times.
Bregman came up 16 or 17.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think he came up 16.
16, yeah, he came up 16 because he was there for the
Yeah. Because there
whole
was
time of
Yuli
17.
Gurriel, there was
Yep,
Maldi, there was George Springer,
Out, out, outside
Josh
Altuve,
Reddick.
outside
Josh
Altuve. I
Reddick.
think Altuve is the only one left from 15, isn't he?
Yeah, Correa, like all these people that contributed this amazing team, they just keep stacking them up. It just keeps
Absolutely.
happening. Great job, Astros.
And I mean,
Great
people talk
job.
about the Astros not having a farm system, and, they bring that up here and there, but they're still consistently so good. They're great with their trades. They're great with developing talent and finding talent where maybe other people didn't see it. And I think that that's a huge key to some of their
Yeah.
successes. And it's part of why they have been so consistent. And again, they've been so relentless.
Oh,
There it is.
Crane has done, and
I
Crane
had
has
to.
done such a great job of spending the right money at the right time. You know, he is not he hadn't spent any stupid money yet. He's spent some money that hasn't worked out. The McCullers deal has not yet worked out. But he has not done the 10-year $400 million deal to some guy that you're eating a contract for 7 years.
You know what? We'll skip around, and why don't we bring that up? It was going to be a little bit later on, but we'll bring it up now. One thing that we heard from Jim Crane is, as long as I'm here, the window isn't closing. And I worked for the Astros, for those of y'all who don't know, but I think everyone does at this point, from 2013 to 2018. So I was there for 5 years, was there in the rough years, there in obviously the start of the golden era. And Crane has always been consistent in his messaging of saying, I'm going to spend money, and I will spend money when it makes sense. He's not going to be like throwing hundreds of millions of dollars at guys for a contract and then, have it, bite him in the butt, for lack of better words, So he is very intentional with the way he spends. And I think he has a lot of trust for Dana Brown. And I think that that is showing in the different moves that he's allowing him to make, with obviously like the Hader deal. I know y'all talked a little bit about it on one of the past couple shows. I mean, that Hader deal, it's not something that you would almost expect of Jim Crane, but from the inside looking out, you do, because you hear him say it constantly. If it's the right move, I'm going to make it, and I'm going to spend the money. And so, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what happens there and what other moves we can make.
Seeing this graphic on Twitter or X, I'm going to call it Twitter the rest of my life. I don't care.
Same.
Yeah.
And one day I'm going to stop going Twitter. I mean X. But anyway, I saw this graphic, right? And it just, I don't want to say it sent a chill through my spine, but it made me happy to see him say, as long as I'm here, this window isn't closing. And I was like, you got to love to hear that, because we talk about it. I've said it. Hey, go pick up Hader, go do something else. And, the window's closing. You got to win while you can. But that's an example of it not closing. 5-year deal to Hader. Why would he do that if the window's closing? It's not closing.
And Stephanie, you've got better insight on this, but it sure seems like from the outside that Crane believes in building an organization. You look at all the successful teams, they start with an organization, and you look at teams that don't succeed. Well, why? Because they take the big shot deal and don't have a base under it. And so there's nothing to support that big shot deal.
Mm-hmm.
100%. I don't think he could have said it any better. That's exactly what it is. He's incredible about building the organization. And I think you even look at not just the money he's spending on baseball, but the money he's spending on developing the areas around Minute Maid Park to make it an experience for the fans, and that's going to be another way that he makes some of his money and helps us get those players, is by, developing into the community around Minute Maid Park. So, I mean, you look at the money he's spending, again, not just on the players, but on the development of everything around it. So I think he's done such an incredible job since he's taken over. I know people had their questions at first, but I think a lot of those have been settled for the most part from the fans. So
just in the beginning, when they asked him about when he bought the team and switching leagues, and he's, his way of being so logical in how he talked about it. So, well, he didn't want to change the leagues, but he said, well, if I want the team, I'm going to have to change leagues. So I got to get over myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's worked out just fine for us now.
So
hindsight is always 2020.
We will always be the only team to represent both leagues in the World Series.
Exactly.
One didn't turn out so well, but we were there.
Oh, good. We were there. You also, on the last subject we were talking about, Wally had mentioned something about, like spending money here and making the right moves and the decisions they make. And while he was saying that, I wrote this down. Just think about how much regret the Angels are going to have if this Cabbage guy works out. That they're the ones that let him go, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I really appreciate this year's, because, when I was growing up, it was Spec Richardson running the Astros. He was the general manager.
Spec?
And he in a 3-year period traded Mike Cuellar, Rusty Staub, Joe Morgan, Dennis Menke, Cesar Geronimo, Ed Armbrister. He had a trade in 71 at the end of the 71 season that made the Big Red Machine. And they went from a team of promise to just the absolute dumps. And then Hoffein's, went bankrupt. There were some dark years in the mid 70s. And so
That
you
was,
really do appreciate what Crane has done with the team.
Yeah, I will say I obviously was a little bit before my time in the 70s, just a little, I promise.
You're sure?
Pinky swear. Pinky swear. But man, even working there in 2013, I remember I got there in August, and so it was the middle of our third 100 loss season in a row. And you kind of looked at Jim and you're like, "What are you doing, man?" And he's like, "Just trust me. There's a plan. We're going to execute it and it's going to be fun." And him and obviously Jeff Lunau, they really had us buy into that. And internally we all felt it like, okay, we're going to be good very soon. And then 2015 happened, which obviously that was way ahead of schedule in my opinion. No one thought that we were going to be a playoff team in 2015. And then that happens and you kind of start seeing the little sparks of what this team was going to be and what they were going to be able to accomplish. And I remember in 2016, like, we were almost furious that we didn't make the postseason after we had made it in 15. And then 2017 happens. And then obviously that was the start of everything. So yeah, I mean, trying to sell tickets for an 111 loss team really gave me a thick skin and taught me a lot. Let's put it that way.
The last thing I had to say about Crane, we've been rightfully singing his praises. From an organizational standpoint, the best thing I can say about Crane is dealing with Lunau is Lunau gave him a plan. Crane let Lunau work the plan as long as the plan was on target. Kind of what you're saying, Steffi, is that, as long as the plan is working, he's going to let you work the plan.
Exactly.
And you could tell there was losing, but there was not panic.
Absolutely.
I was panicking a little. I was actually, like, as a fan, getting frustrated because I couldn't see the future. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I was just like, why are they getting rid of everybody that's good? And then they talk about these people, that they drafted, that they have in the minor leagues that are awesome. I'm like, well, call them up and try to win.
Mm-hmm.
And then you couldn't watch them on TV. You had to have like Xfinity. There was a time where, like,
Comcast, yeah, it was
wasn't there a time where like
rough.
50% of Houston couldn't even watch
Mhm.
and it was frustrating. It's like, why am I wasting my time being a fan of this team? I can't watch them. And then I tried to get MLB, the
Extra
pay-per-view
innings.
thing,
Yeah,
and you can't watch them. Like,
blackouts.
why would I get this? I mean, and it was really frustrating.
Yeah, it was definitely rough times, and I will say, during that time, that's half of what we heard in 2013 was, "I can't even watch them, like, why would I wanna go to a game?"
Yeah.
You know? So, it was rough times, but, it
You'll go to
makes
the game and you won't even know any players because you
Yeah,
can't watch them.
exactly.
It
100%.
was rough, but I'm glad I stuck it out.
Yep.
I think we all are. So I will go back to Astros Media Day just for a quick minute. So a couple of other things that they showed during Media Day. They released some of the promotional calendar. They had some highlights there. One of my favorite things is going to be 7-1-3 Day versus the Rangers. I think that's going to be a really fun one. Margaritaville at the ballpark, and obviously a lot of really great celebrations and causes there. They also showed the weekly promos, which look like they're staying the same. So I will be there every Tuesday that I can make it for dollar hot dogs, because nothing better than a dollar hot dog at the ballpark,
You know what I wish they'd do with the dollar dogs? I wish they'd let us go back to cash for dollar dogs only, because it takes so much time to get your card out. You don't think about it, but when you can give somebody 4 ones for 4 dogs and you just keep on going, the line just gets darn long.
Yeah. See, I have learned to use the Uber Eats app and you can Uber Eats the
Uh-huh.
dollar dogs and just come and pick them up, and that's it.
Yeah.
So I literally one time I think ordered like $10 dogs for me and a bunch of people, and the line was crazy too. It was like circling around. It was all over the place, and I ordered my little Uber Eats dogs, and I went and I picked them up, and I went back to my seat, and people were looking at me like, "What the heck?" You know?
Can you Uber Eats El Tiempo margaritas?
Shoot, I wish. Maybe you can. I don't know. Do a margarita pickup? Oh, those margaritas.
Those margaritas are deadly.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
are.
They are deadly.
my one of my friends said, Astros, how dare you think it's Margaritaville night? It's Margaritaville every night with El Tiempo in there.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Oh, my friend Paul's
They
a
should
funny
just
one.
they should just have El Tiempo margarita night. Everybody just wear black because we're all going to be blacked out drunk.
Yeah.
Oh, those margaritas are some of my favorites.
Sponsored by Uber because they're going to have to give everybody a ride home.
Facts.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, they had a couple promo items as well. So I will say Julie Morales had all of the insight on all of the things from Astros Media Day today. So if you, haven't seen any of that stuff, go check it out. Also, a couple of different ballpark foods too. So that's going to be interesting. I think they had like chicharron nachos, something called a pennant pickle dog, which I am intrigued
What?
by because I like hot dogs and pickles. But I'm curious. I have a lot of curiosities about that. And also crawfish fried rice.
Yeah.
I am so intrigued by all of these things.
That one
Wow.
around here, we were talking about it and said, that one might have to be a pickup.
Oh, absolutely. And I will say the Astros do very well with their food too. That's something
do.
that they do really well with. So we're excited
Someone
about
posted
that.
a picture of it was like a table with a whole bunch of giveaways.
Yes.
And I saw
Yeah, that
like
was Julia.
I saw a Pride jersey.
Yes.
And it has like the rainbow numbers. It actually
It
looks
looks
pretty sweet.
really nice. I
Yeah,
saw they
it
had a
looks pretty
Pride
sweet.
jersey and a Pride hat. Orbit's birthday, it looks like they're going to have an Orbit fanny pack and also an Orbit squishmallow for anyone who likes squishmallows. And
I don't even
then
know what that is.
oh man, they're like little it's like a stuffed animal basically, but it's just like round. I
It's
promise
got
Oh,
you,
like a
you've
beads
seen them
pillow.
at
inside of it, kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
Oh.
and they're just super fluffy. And I have some squishmallow cat house shoes, and they're very comfy. So I can only imagine an actual squishmallow has got to be nice and cuddly. And I might want that, so I might have to be there for Orbit's birthday. But yeah, and a couple other things. They have the Space City promos again, which are going to be some gate giveaways. So there's going to be a lot of fun stuff.
They
So
do a good job with
it'll
the
be good.
promos.
They do a good job with everything.
And get your what's it called with the kids?
Oh, Kids Run the Bases on
Run the
Sundays.
Bases.
No.
No?
Yeah, they do that, but I'm talking about
What are you talking about?
the
Astros
Astros
Buddies thing?
buddies.
Oh, Astros Buddies. Yes, they do
Yeah,
have
I try to
Astros
talk
Buddies
about it
still.
every preseason
Oh,
before
yeah.
it
Get
starts.
your Astros Buddy
It's like, if
passes
you ever see
for
those
sure.
kids out there getting their shirts signed by Altuve and all these guys, you know how they get out there? They're Astros buddies.
Buddies.
They'll message you like months before. Like, it's highly planned, you know?
Oh,
And also,
100%.
I did it once, and I used the tickets and I upgraded them, you know, because you get upstairs seats.
Nice. Yeah.
We got 4 tickets for $104 because I had that. And
That is
in section
nice.
105, row 19, right next
Oof.
to Michael Brantley or whoever was out there. I
I
mean,
love that.
for $104.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Plus the
Astros
30
Buddies
for
is a
the
must.
Astros buddy. So 134 minus about 2. I mean, it would have been like 240 easily.
Oh, easy.
And you could give the backpack and the jersey and all that stuff to your grandkid or your kid or whoever.
Or just keep the backpack. I don't know. Use
Why
it.
not?
Why not? That's what
But it's
I would
good.
do. I'm not going to lie to you.
Astros buddy. Even if your kids don't want to go, you should get it just to save money on tickets.
Absolutely. We love
You can
it.
split them up. You don't have to go all 4 games. You don't. If you're single, you can go to 4 different games.
Shh, don't tempt me with a good
If you're a
time.
couple, you can go to 2 games. You don't have to have 4 people. You can split them up.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah,
off my
definitely.
soapbox. Go ahead.
No,
I'm a
it's a
I'm a
great
huge
soapbox
believer in
to talk.
Astros buddies.
I love that. I'm a huge
I was
believer
an
in all
I
of
was
the
an
different
Astros
promos.
buddies back in the day.
Oh,
I
I
bet
love
you were.
that.
Yeah.
I'm not. I gotta tell you, Wally, I'm not shocked by that at all.
I'm not
Yeah.
either.
We were, and
Were
it
you a
was
Colt
back
45 buddy? Did you
No,
go to the
no,
Colt 45 games or you
no,
just
but I will tell you the first baseball I remember listening to, we would go to Little Rock, and my grandfather was a huge Cardinals fan. He grew up outside of St. Louis, and we would listen to Harry Carey call St. Louis Cardinal
Oh,
games on KMOX, the sports voice of the Midwest. And he had the same sort of
Bill
diction.
Brown talked about that.
Yeah, he had the same sort of talk, but he wasn't near the lounge act that he became with the Cubs.
that's amazing.
Very interesting.
Oh, baseball memories. We love them.
All right, go ahead, Steph. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no,
all the
you're good.
interruptions.
Goodness, Rob, I am the host today. Come on, man.
You are bringing the energy. You're bringing the energy to the show.
Rob, are
as the
you
host
having lack
today.
of control anxiety?
Am I having what?
Lack
Rob,
of control anxiety.
You can push the buttons if you want to, Rob. I'll let you do it.
No, because I know because you had Astros media, then you moved along, and then you went back, and
Hey,
I
you
keep
know?
talking, and I'm like, I'm sorry, like
No, you're good. You're good.
I
Hey,
have, hey,
it
dude,
makes
I
it
have
fun. I'm
zero
in.
lack of control.
We're
If I could be
rolling
on
with
this
it.
show every day and not send out emails, not record it, not upload it to YouTube and send it out, I would do it. If all I had to do is sit here and talk every day, sign me up, dude.
It's not
I have
bad. I
zero
took
lack
the
of control.
banners off your hands today, and then I
Yeah,
realized I
thank
misspelled
God.
the word "isn't" in the other one, which is why I took it off.
I was wondering if you're going to catch
Look,
that.
folks, we're not perfect around here, okay? And I was trying to type really fast.
Yeah, we're not perfect. Who cares?
Oh man. So I know something that Wally really wanted to talk about. Bregman extension? Question mark?
Yeah. There was Dana had a few things that were said, and it's not what he said is what he didn't say. Boris, Boris and Brown talked, and the way it came across to me is that Brown said, "We'll get back in touch with you, but we're going to get back in touch with you and on our schedule." And there's one guy out there, Matt Chapman, third baseman, 31 years old, who's not yet signed. And it just seems logical that Brown and Crane, being the types of people that they are, they're going to wait for Chapman to sign before they get back to Boris. That's got to happen quick. Here we are, it's the 8th. We're inside of a week, inside of 10 days when the position players are going to start reporting. Chapman's going to want to get a deal done. He's an elite defender. Bregman's an excellent defender. Maybe some people would say that Chapman with all his gold gloves is a little better defender than Bregman, but Bregman's no slouch. When you look at it on the other side of the coin, Bregman's a much better offensive player than Chapman is. Took a look at some things the last couple of days for the last couple of years, and Bregman's average is 30, 40 points higher than Chapman's, 30 points higher. His OPS is 60 points higher. His home runs are more. And the biggest thing that really got my attention was that Bregman strikes out less than 12% of the time, and Chapman strikes out almost 28% of the time. That's where your RBIs come. You talk about where these hidden runs come and why the Astros are so good. And Steffi, when you talk about where they were back in 2013 and where we are now, back in 2013, 2012, 2014, they struck out like nobody's business. Chris Carter struck out
kings.
Chris
Oh,
Carter
yeah.
struck out 3 times before he got out of bed. And now
Wow, I need
they are
a T-shirt.
I need
they
that
are
on a
the
t-shirt 100%.
they are they're always one of the top 2 or 3 least strikeout teams in Major League Baseball. You don't think it makes a difference, but I can remember a time when I think it was Bregman that hit it when he hit a pop fly against San Diego, and the pitcher and the catcher saw it drop between him and a guy's at third base, and he got a 20-foot single in the 9th
I was
inning.
there.
Walk off. Yep.
I have the video on my phone.
I could have sworn it was Kansas City.
No, it was the Padres.
It was the Padres?
It was the
Which
guy,
game
the
was it?
first baseman used to play. It was Hosmer, is that his name?
Hosmer, that's
He
what
used
it
to
that's why
play
I'm
for the
thinking
Royals,
Kansas City. That's what it
and I
is.
think it went behind him.
Yeah,
It wasn't very far. I mean, it's
it
just like they all
wasn't.
kind of looked at
Yeah,
it and
like,
said,
it just went up
Yeah,
somebody's
yeah.
got to catch this ball.
So there was 4 of us
absolutely.
at the game, and I was filming it, and someone else was looking, and the other 2, their heads were down,
Mhm.
and they missed it. So don't ever put your heads down, folks. You're gonna miss something big. It was awesome.
So,
Nope.
so the point on this is, I think that Crane and Dana are going to let Chapman set this value. When Chapman sets the value, then they'll know more about which direction they want to head with Bregman, and I think they will give him an offer, uh, unless Chapman just gets stupid money and they look at Boris and they say, we're not going to give you as much as Chapman got. So, you need to decide that that if he wants to be here, because we're not going to pay stupid money, or we can get the deal done.
I think Bregman knows that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
But why
agree.
you don't think he would be interested in doing what Altuve did? I
I
know
don't
he's
know.
gonna want something big, but, like, just saying, like, "I'm gonna sign something, and then I'll sign again," because that's what the Astros management says. That's what Jim Crane says. "I want Bregman to be here for life." He puts Bregman and
Bregman's going to be
Altuve in the
30.
same sentence all the time.
Bregman's going to be
Absolutely.
30. So, that
I'm
4
just
years
saying if
difference.
Bregman wants to be here,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but if he
I
wants
mean,
to get paid and get a 12-year contract, and he isn't gonna be here.
no, I could see
No.
something happening where some sort of a weird deals. They guarantee him 5 years, and they have some sort of an option set up to where the
Even
Astros
7 years is good.
Can exercise at, the Astros can exercise at 20 or 25 or 30, or Bregman can exercise at 10 or 15, something kind of exotic to where they both have the opportunity to stay at the end of 5 years if they want. And if Bregman stays, it doesn't kill the salary structure if he's not performing that well. I mean, if he's performing great, they're going to want to extend him. If he's got an opt out or whatever, I mean,
The Astros got a lot to think about.
they do have a lot.
Because
So
they also have
much.
Kyle Tucker. They can't pay every player on the team $30 million a year. They can't do it. They can, I guess.
Definitely not. I mean, they could, but will
You
they?
could, but you can't.
Probably not.
You can, but you couldn't. Could you? But you can't.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't, but you could.
Yeah. No, you've got, if they can get Bregman signed or just get his disposition taken care of.
When I
And
was
they can
looking
start
through my
planning.
phone for something, I saw the screenshot that I sent y'all. Jim Crane says, "While I'm here, the window will always be open."
Yeah.
That's what he said. I thought he said that it's not ever going to close. That's what I thought he said. Same thing, though, right?
Close enough.
That's a distinction without a difference.
Ish.
Dang, Wally, you got the stats and the wit. You're a total
It's true.
package.
No,
Man. We love to see it.
It's going to be interesting. But again, these are good teams' problems.
True. It's very true. Yeah, and it really does feel like Jim Crane is trying to make Altuve and Bregman the Bagwell and Biggio of this generation, which I think is incredible. I love it. I love both of them. I think they're the perfect kind of good cop, bad cop, the same way you kind of saw Bagwell and Biggio.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be mad about an extension. Bring it on. So another exciting thing, obviously, we have going on, Wally, you mentioned we are well within that 10-day window of pitchers and catchers reporting to spring training. So saw an email from the Space Cowboys about the 11 Sugarland Space Cowboys who will be at spring training. Rob, your boy, Luke Berryhill on that list.
Oh, yeah. He was
How are
there
we
last
feeling
year.
about that? Yeah, I remember he was there last year too. So I'm like, hey.
So
could
him
this
and
be his
I
year?
think it was him and Justin Dearden were roommates when they're in
Oh, that's
Corpus.
awesome.
And they both were, they both got invited last year, and they took a picture together and they sent it to his dad, and he showed me, and I was so excited just to see him in that uniform. It was so cool.
Oh, that's
That
amazing.
is neat.
Yeah.
Speaking of Dearden, I'm looking at the non-roster invitees. Is Dearden on the 40 man? I don't think he is.
No.
Mm-mm.
I don't see him on the 40 on the
That dude
NRI.
was somebody everybody was talking about, and I think he kinda fell off a little bit last year.
Yeah, he didn't have a great season, and he's not on Astros.com, he's not on the NRI list. That's surprising.
Yeah, I will say one that I'm very excited to say is Loperfido. Oh man, that kid is fun to watch. Got to see him a few times in Corpus. I think he's going to be really exciting and a really good outfield option for the future. So I'm looking forward to seeing him as a non-roster invitee this season, and I will be at spring training early
Good.
March. So
Yeah,
I'm excited for it.
the
So the
guys go ahead. Go ahead,
Oh, I
Rob.
was gonna say something about I got 2 boys on the team now because my friend Angie's son is
Ooh.
Rhett Koba. He got invited
Oh,
also.
cool.
And so Luke, I think it was 2022, he was the Astros, maybe it was 2021, but he was the Astros minor league offensive player of the year. And then he kinda have been dealing with injuries lately. But Rhett Koba, who if you look at the roster and it says expected date to like join the Astros. It says 2024 on both of these guys, and that's this year. But
Mhm.
Rhett Koba was the Astros minor league pitcher of the year. So these guys have both, I know both of them, and they both, you know, they're good. Rhett
That's
Koba, don't forget that name when he comes up. You're going to be like, "Who's this dude?" Rhett Koba, folks. Rhett Koba.
the guys I'm interested in seeing, of course, is Melton. Let's see what Melton's got, and what Melton has could make a big difference on how they handle Tucker in the future. Low Profido, I hear Quincy Hamilton's got some good things going for him. They talked about Pedro Leon, but
Yeah,
like Zach DeCenzo is the third baseman.
they're talking about how Leon didn't get a chance last year.
Yeah.
Is Luis Baez on that list? Because
I
I
don't
read something about him too.
I
Mm,
don't think so.
mm-mm.
And then you've got Spencer Arrighetti. If you talk
Oh
Oh,
about
yeah.
yeah.
minor leaguers, if somebody goes down and they need to dip into the farm to get him, Arrighetti really came on last year. No, Baez is not on the list.
Because I read about him. There was a story, and I always read this, and I always talk about it on here. Like everybody's a prospect on each team to keep an eye on, and that's who he was. He's like an outfielder. He plays right field, has a cannon, and he was 19 years old last year, so
Mm-hmm.
he's predicted to maybe, possibly, be the right fielder of the future after we lose Kyle Tucker. So that's
Yeah,
another name to look for someday. Luis Baez, he's like in low A right now, so
yeah. Will
keep an eye out.
Wagner's another one.
Will Wagner's a stud, but
Yes,
he's
Will
washed.
Wagner.
He's
Fair.
really good.
There's a few of them. What's always interesting to look at these guys when you look at the NRIs, the minor leaguers, is to see their ages, and you empathize with some of the players and know that they're getting to the point where something has to happen for them
Yeah.
to really to come forward. If you're 25, 20, like a Shea Whitcomb will be 26 this year, and he's getting to that age where something has to happen for his dream to come true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sometimes your
definitely
dreams
moving.
end up just being this guy. There's guys that are stars, like how you said Altuve got picked up all the way from Corpus. But there's some guys that go to AAA and they go up and down. There's an injury, but they're not that kind of guy that's gonna be this superstar.
Mm-mm.
Like Gray Kessinger, like somebody like that. He may be, but I'm just saying, like, you get to that age, you're a certain age of player, and that's just who you are. You just go up and down, up and down. That's until you run out of options and they get rid of you.
Yeah. Well, look at Matajevic.
There you go.
You know,
True.
he'll always have that home run he hit off Cole, but I don't even know if he's in a camp this year.
Did you know I thought about that on the way home too? We play the Yankees in game 1 of the year.
Yeah.
What a
Mhm.
matchup. What a pitching matchup we're getting the first game of the year.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna
Cole
be
and JB.
amazing.
Wow.
We'll be there.
How did we get so lucky?
So
Yeah.
Ryan, the only guy that's not here, he has that show. He's gonna be coming live to you talking about the Yankees.
Yeah, Ryan, let's see how long you can do a monologue.
I'll be live from Kobo's if I need to, or Edo, somewhere in Edo. I don't know.
If
We
he
can
wants
make
to
it
wait,
happen.
yeah, unless he wants to wait till like 7 in the morning for me to get home. But I don't.
Well, we can talk.
Yeah, we'll make it work.
We will make it. We'll make it work.
We can get him someone to come on with him.
Exactly.
There's always options, Ryan.
Options.
Hopefully you're watching and supporting the team there, Ryan.
Ryan's going to be thinking, man, look what I get into when I don't show up.
I know. Has to go solo on opening day.
First day.
First day.
First day.
Welcome. Welcome
it
to the
should be
Thunderdome.
No good deed goes unpunished,
It
right?
should be exciting though.
Oh,
He's gonna have a lot to
100%.
talk about.
Absolutely. But yeah, so last thing we had on the docket for today, Espada's expectations.
That
Saw a
flows off
video
the
earlier
tongue.
today. Oh, it really does. I'm excited for the Espada era. I'm very excited for it. I think one of the things I loved that he talked about is, he mentioned, almost like a mentality of if it's not broke, why fix it? So, he made mention of, we're going to keep doing what we're doing. It's been working. Like, why would I go in and try and change every single thing that we've been
Yeah.
working towards? We've been successful. We know what it takes to succeed. I've been here for a lot of that. So, why try and fix something that's not broken? Now, he did mention wanting to put Jordan in left field a lot more, which I'm actually very excited about.
Oh,
I
yeah.
would love to see him out on the
He
field a
hits
lot
better
more.
out there.
Oh, he feels a little more locked in when he's,
Yeah.
playing left for some reason. And I want to see
Someone
him
was
hit El Grande
complaining
again.
about that today. They commented on that
Really?
video. Who's gonna DH? We don't have a legitimate DH. You have Dubon. He can play second,
Yeah.
and he can play for anybody, and they can DH. What are you
Exactly.
talking about? We don't have anybody.
Yeah, all the things that Espada said on that minute and a half clip he had was pretty much coach speak, and except for knowing that he wanted to get guys off their feet. He wanted to get Alvarez out in left field, get some guys as their half days off, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
And especially at home, people want to talk about Alvarez. Don't run on Alvarez. You lose a lot of money trying to run on Alvarez.
Oh yeah.
It's incredibly strong, incredibly accurate. He is no slouch in left field.
No, he's good.
Absolutely.
Deceptively slow. Am I saying it right?
Deceptively
fast. He doesn't look like he's even moving, but he's pretty fast. He gets around out there.
Deceptively slow. Deceptively slow
slow.
as us if people take pictures of us. We look like we're running a lot harder than we really are.
I got these little corgi legs. They move as fast as they can, Wally. I'm just saying.
I ran after a foul ball at a San Antonio Missions game, and I fell over forward and rolled. I cannot run full speed. I can't run full speed.
I
figured that
played
out a couple years ago.
just like a beer league softball a few years back, and it was our last game of season. I think it was like the championship game or something, or semifinal, something like that. And I got a hit, and I ran, and then I just kind of kept running, and I somehow got all the way home, and I thought I was going to die. So I too cannot run. And except they started calling me Wheels after that because I didn't listen to
Ooh.
anybody when they were telling me to stop. But then they overthrew the ball, and I got home, and I was safe. It was great. It was my one shining moment in my fake sports career.
You had
Gary Pettis
at
syndrome.
Well, it's really is getting back to Espada. It's really going to be neat to see, the subtle differences to what he does. I think we saw a little bit of it last year when Dusty got thrown out in that game, when he did that switch at the end, and he was much more aggressive about getting Maldi out of there than Dusty ever was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Caratini, speaking of Maldi and him not being here, Caratini could have a really big impact on this team. It's gonna be nice to have a catcher with two catchers that can hit a little bit.
It's gonna be
I have
nice.
no comment.
But But Maldy, you cannot stop
I
Maldy.
still need a
You
new
can only
favorite player.
contain
I
him.
don't know who it's going to be.
You cannot stop Maldy. You can only contain him.
Yeah. It's
That's
got to be
facts.
someone I need to defend, right?
It has to be.
I can't have a favorite player that's awesome. I had to defend Yuli Gurriel. I
You
had
should
to
just make it
defend Maldy,
Cabbage. You should be the first Cabbage stan.
but he's got to start. He's got to play.
He's got to make the team.
I think
Fair.
Jake
Fair
Myers is
point.
the leader in that category. The guy that's going to get the most
Probably.
slander because he's going to
Probably.
start center field if he does crap. Either why do you do it? Why is he out there?
Yep.
Bring up this
You know
guy
they
from
will.
Corpus.
I mean, granted, we do have a lot of great options in Corpus and AAA
We
right now in
do.
the outfield, and I think that's the scary thing for players in that position. You know, I mean, there's a guy nipping on your heels, and he's going to be hungry, and
Yeah.
some of them are going to be in spring training with you. So, I think it's going to be interesting and fun, and I'm excited for it. Oh, I'm ready for baseball season to start. It officially starts Sunday, right after the Super Bowl, in my opinion. So.
Yep.
Wow.
We're 3 days away from baseball season, folks.
That's a
3
fact.
days.
Are we doing a pregame, Super Bowl pregame here? That's what I was reading in the text.
What?
Yeah, some of y'all said, I can do it before the Super Bowl or after the Super Bowl.
I mean, maybe.
I don't even know what I got going on.
It's-
We go to
it's-
church. I know that, but
It's a
but we're not
pregame.
going to go out and eat because we have Super Bowl food.
Exactly. I'm
So
so
I might
excited
be
for Super
good
Bowl
if we
food.
do one.
So excited.
I saw a video today, and I hate to interrupt everybody, but it had
No,
something to do.
please.
It said, "Do you know the number? Do you know the name of Taylor Swift's new album?" And the guy's like 13, and it had all these different things, and everything was 13. Like, you know how many games Taylor Swift has been to?
Mhm.
He's like 13. No, 12. This will be her 13. Like everything at 13. I don't know. I got to find it. But who do y'all think is going to win?
I want it to be Kansas City.
A
A lot of people don't.
Yeah, San Francisco's favored, but
Really?
Kansas City just seems to know how to win.
They do.
100%. They do. So good.
They just know how to win.
And they've just been there,
And I think
they've been there.
They say Andy Reid may be retiring after this game. And if he does, it'd be nice to see him go out as a winner.
Absolutely.
So he can go back to the State Farm commercial and do those combo meals and have those combo meals with some of these nuggies.
Mahomes, Auto.
I love it. Oh man. Well, on that note, you guys, do we have any final thoughts about Astros baseball, about Super Bowl food? Thoughts
Bring it
about
on.
anything?
Just bring it all on.
My final
love
thoughts
it.
is the thing about Espada. We were talking about him. I'm so curious to see, because I think a lot of Astro fans want a manager that says, this is my shortstop. This is my center fielder. I'm not, like Dusty did a lot of stuff to irritate people. And I'm just curious. And it's probably going to happen because everybody's what is it called? Like a sofa couch
Everyone
manager.
thinks that they can
I'm
manage
just-
from their
Everybody's an
couches.
armchair manager.
I'm just
Yeah,
waiting
there you
for-
go. Armchair manager.
I'm waiting for day one that somebody gets a day off, and we just lost the game before. What's Espada doing? I'm just waiting for the Espada slander, but I don't think he's going to get as much as Dusty.
I don't think so
Not
either.
even close.
Wait
No way.
for the standings to go. I mean, Dusty would get all the guff, and I'd tell my friends, said the only thing I know about Dusty is he's won 2,100 and some odd games more than I have.
Yep.
So we're going to trust that he knows a little bit what's going on and he knows his team. You just hope when Espada's been the consigliere for all these years, can he go from being Tom to being Vito?
Well, get your stats ready, Walt.
We
or
will.
Wally, whatever you get called now. I want to know, is it possible? And I don't want you to answer it now. This is for the next show. Is Jose Altuve gonna be here? Is this contract long enough for him to get to 3,000, or is he gonna have to play a couple more? That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that.
Tell me if he gets hurt or not.
I don't know. I don't know, dude.
Yeah, no, it's
That's
the short
next time.
answer is it's going to be close.
It's going to be close. That's why I was curious.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to get 200 hits every year like he did, but it's going to take, I don't know. It's going to be tough.
It's going to be interesting,
That's my final
to say
thought
the
right there.
least.
Final thought.
I love it.
No,
Wally, any other final thoughts?
no, it's just we're just getting ready to have the season. You can feel with the Altuve thing and people getting together, people getting ramped up. You know,
Pretty
especially
exciting.
Texans. It's like when the Texans lost, and then all the Astros stuff started coming up, and people are starting to get ramped
Mhm.
up, and it's the same old thing, but then again, it's not
Yeah.
because Dusty's gone, and you've got we've got these questions that we have to answer, and it's going to be a fun year.
Absolutely. My final thoughts, like Wally said, it's going to be a really fun year. I'm excited for the season, which officially starts right after the Super Bowl. The minute the confetti hits, it is baseball season, folks. So excited for that. Excited for spring training, and the squad would love to say thank you so much for tuning in to the Astros Baseball Podcast. We hope you had a great time with us today, and
Thanks,
we'll see you
everybody.
next time, guys. Bye.
Peace.